Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of Permafrost, where, as you might be able to tell, things aren't quite so frosty anymore. I spent a little bit of time between episodes here setting up um, a bit more of a. I'm not going to call it a house, it's a hidey hole, but with a little bit more work, this can become a hidey home. We have a few saplings that I've planted here. This has been honestly the most important thing I've done so far. Wood is really important, and we were critically low on that. We have a big wall over here, or three walls of these cave roots to provide us with a lifetime supply of really terrible food. Over here, we have 9 furnaces, uh, and then, basics, a little bit of crafting table, a little bit of chests. You know how it goes. Infinite water source, should we need it, hasn't been relevant yet. And then, as you might have noticed, the glowing purple frame over here, I have built another portal. Hopefully, the little montage at the beginning of the video showed that off. And besides that, I've mostly spent the time clearing this place out and gathering a few resources. We have lots of blocks. We have lots of resources. I'm not going to say lots, but, we're doing okay. And then miscellaneous drops, plant stuff up here. But I figure it was about time to bring you guys back in because there's a lot that I want to get done today in this episode. So let's see how much we can get through. The first goal is pretty simple. We're going to open our quest book and we're going to see that one of the next quests, the one immediately after the caverns here, is to grab a bucket of lava. So there is a lava pool down there, so I'm just going to quickly hop over and we're going to grab a bucket and turn it in for the quest. I did notice one fun development while I was mining for obsidian for the Nether portal. Pay close attention throughout this series to the color of my hotbar. As you get closer to sources of heat, you'll notice it actually starts to change color. It's not instant, right? But if you take a look at it now, for example, that's a very orange looking hotbar. Definite. And there we go. The warmer you get, which is indicated by your hotbar, and the more chance you have of developing what is called hyperthermia, the opposite of hypothermia, what we had at the start of the series. So it turns out that heat here in this pack is not a magical solution to our problems. But this lava might be a start. So let's grab a bucket and then claim our reward here, which is soul binding. I guess I could make an anvil, but that's not relevant yet. And this apparently unlocks 3 quests elsewhere, which seem to be in here. Let's take a look. These new tabs have unlocked. Most of them I'm going to ignore until they're relevant. We're going to be making an enchanting table soon, so this one will become relevant, but I don't expect us to be getting ender pearls or waste stones too soon. Over in this tab, we seem to have unlocked... Oh, well, we don't... These seem new to me. So these seem to be quests about killing various mobs. Interesting. So Mimic, as I mentioned in the previous episode, they do seem to exist in this world. It's good to know. Direbat, we have killed a couple of them. And sure, I'll take some free arrows. Easy enough. You guys are going to be hearing that noise a lot. I'm sorry. Oh, this over here is all of elemental craft, it seems, which I've never gone into before, and quite frankly, not going to go into it now. Let's instead go back to our starting point and see where to go. So we'll want to craft a few fire charges and some leather, which will give us a backpack. That will be nice. So to craft leather, I don't believe I explained this earlier in the previous episode, but I did take a look at the recipes, and it does seem like there's a way to craft it out of rotten flesh, which, is not quite easy to get. Mobs are still a bit of a challenge due to their ridiculous amount of health. But if we take a little bit of rotten flesh and arrange it in this pattern, combined flesh. Interesting. I'm also going to set this lava bucket down somewhere before I make a horrible mistake. Let's see if we can just set it down behind here without going into the nether, ideally. Just make a little... This is a terrible idea, isn't it? I'm gonna walk out of the nether and, like, straight into a pool of lava. Yeah, that'll go great. Alright, let's put it back in a little bit more of a nook. Anyways, so with this combined flesh, lovely name, we seem to be able to cook it at a campfire. Well, let's give it a shot. Got one right here. And have it turn into leather, which, you know, could be useful for many reasons. But right now, I just care about this backpack. Let's see if it works. Oh, so it does. Oh, but we need to craft a backpack first. Ah, I see. It's a multi-part quest. So let's look at how to make one of these backpacks. 8 leather. Ouch. Okay, well, bad news. No backpack today. But I'll store that away for future reference, and, well, if it becomes relevant, good. Let's go back to our original idea, which was to make an enchanting table here. I know I just mentioned that, which should also be a quest we saw in this magic tab. Books and bottles of enchanting. That's nice. I'm not going to read all this lore text for every quest, by the way. I'll read it on my own, and if there are any relevant parts, relay it to you, but otherwise, we're just going to leave it. The other quests here, bookshelves, anvils, grindstones, you know how it goes. Let's ignore those for now, and we're going to place this down. With some of that quest housekeeping out of the way, the rest of the episode I would like to focus on 2 main things. The first is I want to be able to get just a little bit into create, mostly for the bulk smelting and cooling and smoking that create offers with the fans. It's just, you know, effectively a fuel-free furnace, so always really nice to have, and you can throw a ton of items in there at once. It's just really powerful. So I figured that we should, assuming I have all the resources, take a quick detour into Create and see if we can't set any of that up. And that's going to start with the andesite alloy, which is andesite and some iron. So I should have some iron and more than plenty andesite. Do a stack of each to give us 32 andesite alloy and see if that's enough. Next up, we'll want a few cogs, which we can make from... Oh, made an advancement. Cool. With some birch logs here, we should be able to make at least a couple cog wheels. Not very useful on their own, but they'll help us together with... Ah, yes, andesite casings. That would be a useful step to have in between the rest. Put a little bit of that there, and then, who knows, 8 of them should be enough for now. Now we need a block of iron. Oh, we don't actually have the iron for that because I haven't smelted it yet. It's good. It's smart of me. Make sure to prep nothing for the episode. That's really important. But, you know, it's 3 pieces of iron. Hopefully that won't take too long. And the rest we should have. We will need some sort of depot in order to actually... But I should clarify, the reason why we need this mechanical press is to make iron sheets in order to make the encased fan. The rest should be pretty easily achieved. Just thought I should clarify that before I just tell you guys a bunch of crafting recipes with no actual defined end goal. Okay, so we have that, and then we'll need a depot, which is trivially easy. But because we don't have any power right now, we'll probably want a hand crank too. So let's make a few shafts. Pop in a crank here. I have a feeling that we're going to be relying on this crank more than we should, but it's just so easy. I'll make a water wheel soon enough. Don't worry. And then, all right, well, seems easy enough here. Although, I'm now realizing it would probably be beneficial if we had possibly the most basic and useful item in all of Create, the wrench. But that also needs sheets, which can only be made through. Okay. We do happen to have 3 gold. That'll be nice to. Don't need to go look for more. Gold has been surprisingly difficult to come by, I should say. I've only found 3. And if you'll notice here, we found 11 plus 2 for the enchanting table, 16 diamonds. So it's definitely not abundant. But what can you do? As I mine more, I'm sure there will be plenty more gold to be found. Just gonna wait for this to smelt here, and then can put it on here, and very slowly rotate this press in order to make ourselves a few sheets. Ta-da! Excellent. And now, bam, the wrench. All right, and then we needed. I'm going to do a little bit more crafting here and bring you guys back in once I have some more smelted materials, some more cogwheels, some water wheels perhaps, just because I'm realizing that having to do this for every single sheet of iron, not the best idea. Let's have our contraptions do all of that automatically. So I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. And just like I said, welcome back. So I made 3 water wheels. We have an extra for fun. And all of them are here, currently spinning, not at their max potential, I believe, but pretty close. You might need soul sand for their maximum output. But the important part here really is that I can connect a few cranks to it, take a couple of these gearboxes that I made, and hopefully connect them up to our press here. And now, if I were to say, give it iron, it would, yes, extremely slowly pound a few of these iron sheets out. I'm sure I could be doing this faster myself, but the important part is it's automatic. It's passive. It does it on its own. And we can just cover it up and say, congrats. So I'll let that all smash up while instead we look at making sure that we have everything else for the fans, which we should. It's not a very difficult recipe. But I'm thinking that we can have a little area over here just with, lava in one and possibly water in the other for some bulk washing. But for the rest of this episode, after I get these little fans set up, I would like to go to the Nether and see what's what over there. Because, in a pack that's defined by its snowy climate, going to the Nether and a place of, fire and hell and lava and whatever else, it's bound to be interesting. Let's see. Okay, we can make 3 fans. let's make 3. Why not? We might have one for fire later. So, I'll set this up and then catch back with you guys once we're ready to go into the Nether. Now, look, I don't like lying, so I'm not going to lie to you. This is not the prettiest setup in the world, as far as create machinery goes. But the important part is, it works. Behind here, I can't break this block because there's water up there, if you can just barely see it. But behind here are 2 fans, which are being powered by a gearbox there and then a chain drive that brings the rotation to them. And this means that whenever you did not mean to mark cobble there, but with these 2 depots, if you were to put blocks on any of them, they do work. They do begin to, in this case, smelt up, and this cobble turns to stone. So it's functional. Is it the prettiest? No, but, I don't plan on spending my whole playthrough of this pack inside this cramped little cave. So for now, it works, and that's the important part. I can take, for example, all of this iron, and before I do something, just smack it on there, and, pretty soon it should all turn to smelted iron. Saves on fuel, saves on time, definitely a lot faster than doing it in furnaces. I still do need to clear out my inventory here. In fact, I'm going to do that now. But I just wanted to show you guys that it does work. So, with that said, let's get ready to hop into the Nether. Let's go check out what the Nether is like in this pack, and see if we can manage to freeze and burn to death simultaneously. Okay. Pretty standard from the looks of it. We have quartz. We have... yes. A slight problem is what we have. Well, glad I know, and now I'm going to start to burn to death if I get close to it. This is all less than ideal, I will admit, but I think I might have to suffer a little bit of burning here if it means plugging the source to this lava, because, yep, as you can see, hyperthermia has now been acquired. We're like collecting ways to die here. So let's just quickly walk out of here and pretend like we had a normal spawn and focus on the important stuff, like the gold in the walls. Alright, oh, it does not seem to be resetting at all. This is quite punishing. So moving seems to be... Whoa. Oh dear. Okay, that could not have spread to us. Moving around is what I was going to say. Seems to be the best way to cool off. Staying still here, not good. Unfortunately for us, we did not spawn somewhere very conducive to moving, so let's see if we can just bridge our way across here and maybe staircase up to somewhere. I don't know how long we'll be staying here necessarily. I don't think there's anything we immediately need except perhaps blaze powder. Although, come to think of it, the pigmen do probably drop quite a lot of rotten flesh if farmed in a... Oh, and there's... I think I've seen these guys before. Yep. Foxhounds. Oh dear. Now, that guy I want nothing to do with. Dogs, sure. Pigment, sure. But not ghasts. Not while I don't have a bow. The interesting thing here, though, is that they dropped leather. Which means... yes, a fire does that. Which, again, if I can stop being shot at for a singular second, would imply that we can farm them. Kind of stuck in here. That we can farm those little foxhounds for their hide, I suppose, which is made of leather, and then use that to make our backpack, avoiding having to kill Lord knows how many zombies. And, yep, they don't seem too rare. And they also, this guy at least, doesn't seem to know how to jump. So, yeah, I mean, 2 leather, that's already better than I had so far. Oh, there's also this guy, who I have no clue who he is, but he drops gold. So I will kill him regardless. Just walking around here to see if I can find a bastion or a fortress or something that might have loot in it. Because I haven't encountered any structures with loot so far. And I feel like that would be quite beneficial. Where are you going, little buddy? Come up here and fight me. And no, not about it. Not feeling it, I suppose. There we go. 4 leather already. If we can find 1 or 2 more, that would probably, and they're easy to kill. 5 leather? Yeah, couple more drops and we should be uh, able to get out of here and make a backpack, which will be really nice as far as further exploration adventures are concerned. But well, I hope I didn't miss any obvious strongholds or anything. Or not strongholds; those are overworld and probably disabled. Uh, but structures is what I meant to say. Something where I can. Yep, fire does that. I keep forgetting that that mod is in the pack. Putting out fire with your hands. Oh, Jesus. I'm out of here. We're just gonna start over. Gonna go over here. I'm gonna pretend like this guy isn't running at me very quickly. And there we go. See? We're gonna start over. I'm talking about strongholds. And everything's cool. That's possibly one of the most terrifying mobs in all of Alex's mobs. Second only to the hideously large centipedes. Look at him. Stalking around up there. Damn drop bears. No fortresses still that I can see. And we still will need a few of those guys for their leather, so I'm saying that until I have all of them, we're just gonna walk around the Nether and hope we don't get lost. I don't... first hit from them. Alright, but that's enough leather, so I'm going to try and head back to the portal now and hope that I remember which direction I came from. No drops from that guy, unfortunately. Drop bears, no drop bears. Seems like we're good to head back. And I will see you guys back in the overworld when we decide what to do next. Welcome back home, everyone. Made it fine, very short journey. And now that we have all that leather we got by ethically murdering Nether puppies, we can make a backpack. This is, I don't know, okay, that seems to have been the whole quest, and I'll also take a rucksack as a reward. What else does this unlock? Seeds. The more I look at all of the quests and sort of where this is guiding us, it definitely seems like the direction to go is out on the surface. That's where anything useful seems to be. What is the difference between the two? Rucksack and a backpack. Same thing, I suppose. In any case, what I want to say is just that the pack seems to be guiding us towards the surface, and, unless I can think of something else to do, which would probably be further adventures into the Create mod, it looks like that's just what we're going to be doing next. We're going to have to put on our big boy pants, get some gear, and go see what's going on up here. But for now, as I head back into my base, back to the warmth, I will sign off, say thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the previous episode. Appreciated that a lot. And if any of you have any feedback, as usual, leave a comment, hit me up, come to my house, whatever. All right, that's it for me. See ya.